Alright guys, you can see that I now just ran through the underground bazaar and I'm going to show you how to get to the malpractice spawn point. So first of all, you have to be playing as a doctor, which as of right now requires 3 anamnesites. And then what you have to do is come down to the underground into the bazaar area. This area is commonly known as the bazaar because, you know, it's underneath the underground bazaar. And then what you have to do is go where the train station is, which is behind these big-ass storage containers. Just gotta run into the shadows. Don't worry, it'll get bright again. And bam, there you go. You can see the Malpractitioner spawn. Now, in order to play as the Malpractitioner, you're going to need 4 anamnesites. So make sure you got a couple of them saved before you come down here. And then it's just like any other role. You know, you just walk up to it, click on it, and you're good to go. Malpractitioner. It says, do harm. Costs 4 anamnesites. At last, flesh and blood. This time as a Malpractitioner. Do harm. I must support the rot. I must ruin the lives of others. So as you guys can see, they kind of have blood stains on their little visor. They're a lot darker in color in terms of their character model. They do kind of have a unique color palette in comparison to all the other fates. For you more experienced players, to put it shortly, the Malpractitioner can basically do everything the Corpsman can do and everything the Scumbag can do, with a few other things that I'm about to show you. For anybody that's new, stick along for the whole video and you'll know everything you'll be able to do. But first, let's start off with the farm toolkit that allow you to craft the new laced drugs. You need to get your hands on one of these farm toolkits and drop it on top of a workbench. This will allow you to create all these new drugs and the drugs that were already here before. So as you can see here, the Malpractitioner can make 5 new ingredients, all of them here highlighted in green. You have laced A4 premium, laced epinephrine, laced cigarettes, a laced ration, and then you have the final one, the festering serum. Now the festering serum is the most unique and honestly one of the most difficult items to acquire in the entire game. It requires a lot of effort to get all these different materials and put them all together and actually get the syringe. Now, what is this syringe used for? The syringe is used to turn a slave into a vomit coffin. We'll be covering the vomit coffin in a separate video, so I'm going to stay on topic for now. Really, the only 2 materials on this list that are a little tedious to get could potentially be the suspicious meat, which is easily acquired by harvesting it from a corpse. You have to use a knife or a pickaxe or some type of sharp weapon. You can even use the zealot's axe. You have to cut the corpse until a suspicious meat comes off of it. Then you have to take the suspicious meat and then you have one. And you have to acquire 3 of those. Now for the rot shroom, what you have to do is get a pot and soil and put a cancer pot in it. That will give you 1 rot shroom. And you have to get 3 of them. So, you know, just times everything by 3. And now as for what the other 4 things do, every single one of these other items, if somebody consumes them, it will give them worms and damage them for 50 health. You don't get anamnesites for killing people with these, but they are a lot of fun to just meme with, and like there's a lot of role-playing potential that can take place with these. And, you know, if there's somebody griefing you, stealing your shit all the time, maybe you can trick them into consuming one of these just to kind of, you know, get a stab back at them. Now, another thing to note about the Malpractitioner is they can do almost everything the Scumbag can, as I've said many times in this video. However, they cannot craft everything the Scumbag can. The Scumbag's able to craft a few unique items just by looking at the workbench. But if you look at the workbench as the Malpractitioner, you can see that those items are not there. Now, besides the unique crafting items, what else can the Malpractitioner do? The Malpractitioner is able to kill anybody and not receive any penalty for it. They can heal anybody. They also have passive healing themselves. They can refill auto stitchers, produce medication, and fill up the pharma distributor. But that's not really something that's going to be easily done, or probably something you're not really going to want to do as this class. Because not only will it be hard to get to because it's only on the surface right now, you're always targeted for limitation, meaning you can be killed on sight by the Cortex. So just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that other fates besides the Cortex personnel themselves will not receive any type of penalty for killing you. So I recommend not really trusting a prole if they have a melee weapon in hand. And this really concludes the Malpractitioner guide, but as a treat for you sticking around to the end of the video, I'm going to give you a little bit of a tidbit that could go a long way potentially. Now the Corpsman has the potential to be a very powerful unit, despite it not having as much health as some of the other classes in the game. You get this class Kevlar, some epinephrine, some methadone, and this guy can be an absolute unit because of his passive healing. So you could really do some damage if you set yourself up in terms of acquiring some drugs that can give you some good buffs. And one other tidbit I'll give you guys is this serum, if you create the serum and don't really feel like using it, you could potentially sell this thing for a lot of money. So those are just 2 little tidbit treats I wanted to leave for anybody that made it to the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this guide, and I will see you guys in Aneurysm 4. Peace.